From its regular satirical portrayals of politicians through to more cowbell and Enid Strict, aka the Church Lady, Saturday Night Live has been a part of US primetime viewing for decades. For those outside of the US, SNL combines live sketches with pre-recorded segments and, for many years, has been required viewing in homes across America. And it's helped launch the careers of many well-known actors, scriptwriters, and comedians. These days, SNL is considered to be a shadow of its once glorious self by many former fans. Its ratings have fallen year on year, and critics have routinely bashed the show for its tendency these days towards what some curtly call college humour. And as an immigrant to the US, I've got to admit that many of its tropes and traditions fly over my head in much the same way my American wife struggled to get the point of many classic UK sitcoms from my childhood. But regardless of what you or I think of SNL, I'm guessing a fair number of you tuned in last Saturday night to watch Tesla CEO Elon Musk become what I think was the first guest host of the show who wasn't an actor, comedian or musician, but a serial entrepreneur. Within minutes of going live, Elon was already causing controversy with a throwaway comment about having Asperger's, participating in a skit about someone rolling over a Dodge Hellcat and dying in the same week that a Tesla customer had died at the wheel of their Tesla after crashing into an overturned truck in California, and participating in a skit about Iceland that was incredibly insensitive at best and completely racist at worst. It was, to put it bluntly, just like any other Saturday Night Live I've seen, and Elon's presence, while a novelty, made it no better or no worse than any other SNL I've seen in recent years. But Elon Musk, Tesla CEO, being on Saturday Night Live was truly revolutionary. Just not for the reasons you might think. I'll explain. Prime-time television is big business for the ad industry. Ad slots are sold for incredibly high figures, and any company wanting to advertise to prime-time viewers during the show will find that they're going to need to be prepared for a large number of zeros on any check they write. Sure, it's not as much as, say, buying an ad slot during Super Bowl, but according to my sources in the ad industry, it is possible for companies to pay upwards of $500,000 or more for a 30-second ad slot during a primetime show like Saturday Night Live. The runtime of SNL, 90 minutes, gives plenty of ad space to earn NBC, that's the channel that airs Saturday Night Live, lots of money. And for those watching outside the US, I should remind you that TV ad breaks in the US are more frequent than they are in pretty much any other country in the world. And because of all of those frequent ad breaks, even with lowering ratings, it's still quite the money earner for NBC. Normally, you'll get a good spread of different ads from various industries during any primetime show. But during Saturday's SNL, we saw something I don't think I've ever seen before. 5 companies advertised plug-in cars during the show, 4 were all electric, and 1 plug-in hybrid. The reason? Elon Musk was guest host, and that meant that rival companies knew that they'd have a captive audience who might just be more likely to buy plug-in cars. So let's look at the ads in question, look at what they focused on, and then I'll tell you why this is such a big deal. First up, Lucid. It aired its 30-second Introducing the Future ad. The ad is now fairly common on TV, especially on channels and shows where the audience might be in the market for a high-performance premium electric vehicle. And to be honest, I wasn't surprised to see Lucid advertise. Lucid and Tesla are certainly approaching sworn enemies these days, and Elon Musk regularly disparages Lucid CEO Peter Rawlinson, who used to be chief engineer for Tesla Model S before he left Tesla to start Lucid. Lucid's ad is a fairly traditional luxury car ad. There's plenty of shots of the car driving down a beautiful highway, and there's a close-up of the driver at the start as she interacts with the Lucid Air smartphone app to turn on her car's preconditioning at dawn. And the voiceover tells us that the future is here and it might be better than we imagined. It certainly fits Lucid's brand image and could easily, I'd argue, have been an ad for a Lincoln or a Cadillac. Ford also decided to buy ad space in SNL's time slot with a 60-second version of its Mustang Mach-E versus Gravity ad. Again, Ford and Tesla have been sparring together online for a while, trash-talking each other's performance, build quality, semi-autonomous features, and onboard tech. While Ford's Mustang Mach-E target audience is very different to the audience who would consider a Lucid Air sedan, Ford's choice of ad, which shows a Mach-E accelerate faster than a chandelier can drop from the ceiling, emphasises the performance aspects of the Mach-E in a way that very much reiterated Tesla's own focus on high-performance electric cars. The electric drivetrain was pretty much an aside to everything else the ad focused on. Incredible performance. And rather than have the Mach-E beat another car, beating gravity gave the ad a nerdy angle that managed to still focus on the performance first and foremost. To be honest, 2 ads on any primetime show would have been a good night. But then Volkswagen added its offering to the list to become another company to advertise to an EV-friendly, Musk-adoring audience. Its ad, which I'm going to nickname Before, but which I think is officially called the Adventure Lifestyle ID4 ad, focuses on life before the ID4 came along. It focuses on the app. It focuses on the quiet drivetrain and, of course, the performance aspects of the ID4. It's portraying the SUV as a car that Volkswagen says is hot hatch in its capabilities, the latter of which I'll dispute based on my recent time behind the wheel, but again, this is a cute ad where the car being electric is just another part of the ad, not the primary focus. Only the catchphrase, "Before it can change the world, it has to change yours," comes across as a little twee. But again, this ad, just like other plug-in ones on SNL on Saturday, was a certain step up from a lot of the poor plug-in car advertising we've seen in years gone by. For some reason, I think I might have been in the kitchen finding a drink to help me through some of the terrible sketches, which were nothing to do with Elon being in them, but I didn't see the other 2 ads to air during Saturday's SNL. According to The Verge, Audi placed an ad during the first 30 minutes of the show for one of its e-tron electric cars, and I believe it was this ad for the Audi e-tron GT, Audi's new Halo electric GT model that shares much of its underpinnings with the Porsche Taycan. Like many of Audi's ads, it has an orchestral soundtrack and there's a heartbeat-like motif playing in the background as the ad attempts to sweep you up with passion and desire for what, frankly, is a very good-looking car. Again, it's also a very expensive car that's only going to be something that high earners in society will be able to afford. But for those watching because of Elon Musk, Audi, like I suspect others advertising, made the ad spend on the chance it could entice some Tesla fans to its brand. Finally, we have the XC90 T8 Recharge ad from Volvo, a car that I've been reviewing this week. While it's not a fully electric car, it's a premium mid-size SUV, and I think that might have been appealing to older audience members and those for whom a Tesla is perceived as being too techy. Volvo's ad, again I think it was the For the Future ad that's been playing on TV a lot, focuses, as do so many of Volvo's ads today, on parents with children. The idea being that every Volvo from now on will have some form of electrified drivetrain, and parents who choose Volvo not only to get the safety and historically good build quality, are now saying that they're doing it to prepare the future for their children. At just 21 miles of all-electric range and 20 to 30 miles per gallon when the battery pack is empty, I honestly don't think Volvo's ad is particularly accurate, but then when were adverts anywhere near accurate? So now let's look at what this all means. Honestly, I haven't seen this many plug-in ads on a TV show outside of the Super Bowl, although I should also note that I don't watch a whole lot of TV or linear TV. But I have seen automakers step up their game in advertising plug-in cars to the masses, and I think these SNL ads are no exception to that. It also shows, first, how threatened traditional automakers are by Tesla and its zero advertising, although, again, you could argue Elon Musk on SNL was the biggest ad for Tesla out there, as was the East Coast debut of the Tesla Cybertruck prototype in New York City, while Elon was there. But it also shows how legacy automakers understand that they need Tesla as a rival, and how much Tesla has provided a springboard for each and every high-performance or long-range electric car out there. Elon Musk isn't an actor. He is a tech CEO, and frankly, I don't think the whole Elon Musk hosting the show made it any better, nor did it make it any worse. But getting 4 electric cars and 1 plug-in hybrid car ads on 90 minutes worth of primetime TV? We need that every single day to help transition the fleet towards zero-emission vehicles. Elon and everyone else in the plug-in world knows that. And maybe, just maybe, this was his super killer master plan part 3. If it was, Well then, isn't that special? After all, not any company CEO can get rival firms to shell out several $1 million on advertising just because they're on TV now, can they? And while I still personally feel Tesla needs a PR department, I've got to give Elon kudos for this one. Well played, sir. Well played. That's it for today. As always, thanks to the folks on my right for being our $15 to $49 a month Patreon supporters. Special thanks to our $50 a month Patreons, Anonymous Freak, Regine Fellows, Gordon C., Paul Conway, Laura Sanborn, Anthony Coates, Denny Hyde, Sean Ueda, and Tesla in the Gong. And our deepest gratitude to our $100 a month Patreon supporters. They are John Lyons, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, JP Fagerback, Will Graylin, and Ian. If you would like to join the ranks of wonderful supporters, you'll find links below to Patreon, Bitcoin, and Ko-fi. You can chat with the team and TE fans over at Discord. And if you'd like to buy some TE swag, please point yourself over to our Redbubble store. Thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving!